Welcome back, Hononegah, Honors, Algebra 2. We're going to extend 3.4 now with the quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula, in the quadratic formula, the b squared minus 4ac, the value that is under the square root, I mentioned this last time, is known as the discriminant. That discriminant will tell you what type of solution you're going to have. So as long as you know the discriminant's value, the b squared minus 4ac value, then you can tell a lot about what kind of answers or what kind of solutions you're going to get. So if the b squared minus 4ac is positive, then you're going to end up with two real solutions or a picture in which the graph will cross in two locations. If the b squared minus 4ac is 0, then there'll be one solution and it's touching. And so the last one, if you end up getting a negative, now it will never cross the x-axis and you're going to get two imaginary solutions. So when I talk about number and type, you're either going to put two real solutions, one real solution, or two imaginary solutions. So here we go. Find the discriminant of the quadratic equation and describe the number and type of solutions, then solve. So now, negative b plus and minus the square root, b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And again, what's under the square root, okay, this b squared minus 4ac is your discriminant. So I take 20 squared minus 4 times 25 times 4. I'm going to get 0. So if you get a discriminant of 0, that means there's one real solution. Now finish solving. Well, plus and minus 0. So I end up with 20 over 50, which reduces to 2/5. If you were to graph this, what that means, and you're not asking you to graph it, but if you were to graph it, you would have a situation in which the graph would touch the x-axis at 2/5, 0. Negative b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Again, find the discriminant. 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 6 is negative 20. So again, off to the side, the discriminant is a negative 20. Therefore, there's two imaginary solutions. Finish solving. Well, I need to take an I out because it's a negative. Square root of 20 simplifies into 2 square root of 5. And because each term is divisible by 2, negative 1 plus or minus I square root of 5 is the correct answer. Not a very good 5. I'll fix that. There you go. So there's three parts to this question. State the discriminant, state the number and type of solutions, and solve. Last one, negative b plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Again, the value under the square root, the b squared minus 4ac, you end up getting 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 3 is 16. So that is your discriminant. That means there's two real solutions. And now solve. Square root of 16 is 4. And so I get two answers here. Negative 2 plus 4 divided by 2, which is 1. And negative 2 minus 4 divided by 2, which is negative 3. So again, discriminant of 16, two real solutions, one negative 3. Find the possible value of c so that the equation x squared minus 12x plus c equals 0 has one real solution. Then write the equation and check by graphing. So if I want to have c so that there's only one real solution, then the b squared minus 4ac needs to equal 0. Well, I know b, I know a. So I have 144 plus 4c, minus 4c equals 0. Solve. C would equal 36. So write the equation. X squared minus 12x plus 36 equals 0. The function h equals negative 16t squared plus h sub o is used to model the height of the dropping object for an object that is launched or thrown. The extra term v sub o means that it's added to the model account when there's an initial velocity, meaning the ball is thrown or launched. Recall that h is the height, t is the time, and h sub o is the height of the initial drop. So in this, if you're just dropping, this is the equation you would use. If you're throwing it, v sub o is the velocity at which it's thrown, and the h sub o is the height at which it was thrown. Now, if you are launching something upward, your initial velocity is positive. If you're launching something downward, the initial velocity is negative. And if you're shooting something straight across, your initial velocity is 0. A juggler tosses the ball in the air. The ball leaves the juggler's hand 4 feet above the ground. So there's your h sub o. And has an initial vertical velocity of 30 feet per second. So h equals negative 16t squared plus 30t plus 4. Find when the ball falls back to a height of 3 feet. So I need this to be 3. Make it equal 0. And now use the quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So negative 30 plus or minus 30 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times 1 all over 2 times negative 16. All right, calculator to find your discriminant. So you end up with 30 squared. You end up with 964, running out of space here, over negative 32. The square root of 964 plus or minus 31.0 over negative 32. So now, negative 30 minus 31 divided by negative 32 would be 1.91 seconds, and then negative 30 plus 31 divided by negative 32 is a negative. So the only answer to this is after 1.91 seconds, the ball will have been launched up and will have fallen back to 3 feet. Your homework assignment is out of the book. Please make sure that you understand on these problems 35 through 39, let the x value equal 1.